Good evening, everyone. My name is Glenda. I'm with Mindful Healing Space, and tonight we're going to do a short meditation on the full moon. So I welcome you wherever you might be, whenever you may be watching this. So tonight, today is August the 3rd, 2020, and this afternoon around noonish was the peak of the full moon, but of course it's about 3 days, a day before, the day of, and the day after, that the energy of the full moon is with us, and you can usually see it in the sky still as full. Just before I came on, I just happened to be sitting here, and I decided to draw a card from Kim Cran's deck, Animal Spirit Guidebook. And interestingly enough, the card that I pulled is the owl, which is an air, of course, bird, air. And when we read it, it says, the owl represents abundance, clairvoyant treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on its way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. So I thought that was an interesting card as we move through this practice tonight, whenever you might be doing it. And it's fine to kind of do this even later tonight, of course. I'll be posting this as soon as I can, or tomorrow even. So what is full moons? For those people who maybe aren't really into this or haven't really done anything around this before, when we think of the moon, it goes through its 28-day phase, and different parts of the phases represent different things. And of course, the full moon is the completion of that cycle. So it is the ending, but also the beginning. It's like the snake that touches itself and continues on. So this is about endings. It's about completion. It's also about abundance. It's full. We can see all of it, right? It's abundant, which also then you'll see that's very much a theme this evening about abundance. So there's the aspect today about the full moon. So that happened around noonish today, depending on where you are in the world. This time of year, so August 1st, is a very important celebration in the wheel of the year, and I wrote about that in the Mindful Healing Space community if you want to read about that. So this is the first harvest celebration. So it is the period, the 6-week kind of period between summer solstice and fall equinox. And so this cross-quarter celebration is the first harvest, which for anybody who's been planting a garden during this global pandemic, you might have noticed this is when things start to bear fruit. We start to be able to actually eat some of the things that have been growing in our gardens, right? And so this is also a time for gratitude, again, abundance, and also the transition of the season. So we're starting to move into this different period of time in the fall, which has a different feeling to it. And so as we talk, we look often at this period moving into the fall, in particular, a period of grief and gratitude. It is the dying off of things, but also the gratitude for what was given. So in particular, we think of gardening as a really interesting way of looking at this, right? It bears fruits, and we get to enjoy all the fruits of our labor, but we also know that the season is coming to a close. So this particular full moon is a full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius highlights our desires for freedom, resolution, change. And this full moon in particular will encourage us to better balance our hearts with our minds to ultimately release anything that no longer serves us. And there may have been, you may have seen that line that I wrote, we are moving through an energetic shift that is integrating our head, Aquarius, with our heart, Leo, by any means necessary, Uranus, because this is actually, Uranus is an important planet happening right now, which when it gets involved likes to shake things up. It's very much a disruptor. It tends to, and of course we've seen it over the last little while. So Aquarius as well is very much about social justice. And so we can expect to see more movement in terms of some of the social justice movement and revolutions that we've been seeing around the world. So we've been playing with this theme of grief and gratitude, connecting head and heart, and having the courage to do what is needed. What do we need to be doing? And there's certainly this complement, if you will, or mirror between the macro and the micro, that which goes on within our own lives, within our own inner worlds, and that which is represented externally sometimes. And so we are the world. Right? So when we can move through things in a different way, we can start to see that reflected in our external world as well. And so as we sit with these energies tonight, we'll wander closer to our heart space. And I want you to contemplate what you may need to release and also what may be revealed to you. So wherever you may be as you're watching this now, come to a comfortable seat, and I'll give you a moment, and if you have to, you can pause the recording. If you want to lie down, by all means do so. If you want to take a comfortable seat, just make sure that you're really supported and comfortable. Even taking a blanket over top, I know it's probably warm, but as we relax, our body temperature tends to drop a degree or two. So finding that comfortable place and closing your eyes. Now start to take some very slow, deep breaths. Deep breaths into our belly, allowing our belly to rise. And then emptying out, maybe the first few, allowing your mouth to open and exhale through the mouth. Perhaps even with a sigh. With the sigh and the exhale, allowing your body to release any tension. Just allowing yourself a few cycles of that breath. Allowing yourself to sink deeper into the ground beneath you. Surrendering your body weight over to gravity, to the floor beneath you, to the supports that you have around you. Remembering I am in this body, but I am not this body. I and the body are separate. The body is mine only for a short time. Even if I live 100 years more, it will go by in a flash. Everything outside of my heart is not truly mine. I own nothing in this world. Everything I own is contained in my heart. The love I have for others and the love they feel for me is mine. My connection with the universe around me is mine. My wisdom is mine. My joy is mine. I breathe into my heart and I breathe out from my heart. May I not waste another moment withholding love. for myself or anyone else. Continuing to connect with your breath. I want you to start to imagine that you are in a beautiful meadow near the edges of a deep, dark forest. And there's a path in front of you leading into the forest. You can't see very far ahead, but the path is clear. And so you start to walk on the path. You walk the path ahead of you into the forest. You smell the depth of the trees, feeling the cooler, moist air on your skin. You continue down the path as it leads you into the deep forest. It grows cooler and darker here. The trees are compact around you, and you can feel how old it is. Up ahead, you notice an opening with a small cabin. You approach it and see a fire burning inside. The gentle rhythm of this cabin and the energy of it draws you in. You notice the door is open, and as you get closer, you hear an old familiar voice that invites you to come inside. Before you realize it, you enter and find yourself tucked inside a cozy cabin. In front of you, there are two large comfy chairs nestled near the hearth. An old lady is sitting in one of the chairs, and she motions for you to take the other. You do. She seems so familiar to you. As you gaze into the fire, you notice after a moment that it beats like a heartbeat. A familiarity not unlike your own. Although she says nothing, you can hear the old lady gently pressing you to stare into the fire. Without words, she once again encourages you to ask your 3 questions. And so you ask, what do I need to release to unburden myself of my past? What has come to a natural ending in my life? Allowing yourself to simply drift into the fire, you listen for the answers. The answers may come to you in words, images, or just a felt sense. Allow yourself to receive. What do I need to release to unburden myself of my past? What has come to a natural ending in my life? What do I have to be grateful for that I've gained because of this experience? What do I need to release to unburden myself of my past? What has come to a natural ending in my life? What do I have to be grateful for that I've gained because of this experience? Listening with your heart, of your heart, to your heart. Taking in whatever information that you need. Allowing yourself to once again connect to the fire. See its rhythm as a heartbeat. And ask it to reveal your true self to you. Reveal my true self to me, please. As you gather up all you need, you turn to the old lady and give her thanks. She smiles gently, and again you are drawn to her familiarity. You realize she is the old wise one that lives within you. You get up to leave, and she lets you. And you walk out of the cabin, down the path, down the path, down the path. And before you know it, you are leaving the forest and re-entering the beautiful meadow. Take a few moments here to take in the summer flowers, the heat of the day, the beauty around you. Warm yourself up to the chill of the forest. And when you're ready, returning to the now, taking a few breaths, making any small movements. Let your body slowly come awake again, returning to this moment in time. Grabbing your journal, perhaps staying in this place, this position, and as you grab your journal and pen and jot down any of the notes that came up for you. As you asked the questions of the fire of your heart, how did it respond? What wisdom did it bestow upon you? Perhaps writing the things that you need to release to unburden yourself on a small piece of paper and going outside and burning it under the full moon, taking the ashes and throwing them over your left shoulder and letting them go. Stepping forward into this new phase of the moon, this new day, this new time. Unburdened by that which has already happened. And allowing yourself to become more of your true self as also revealed to you. I wish you the wisdom of the owl and the abundance of this time. Be well.